Hello and welcome back to my shed and to part 7 of the invitation. When we begin to understand faith, we see that it draws us out of ourselves and towards others. Now, I've spoken at length in this series of videos about the way the invitation of God draws us deeper into ourselves. But the curious thing is that when we follow this call, we find ourselves nearer to others. And likewise, if we invest our time in caring about others, we find that we have come closer to our own selves too. In church each week, we make what we call the prayers of intercession. We ask God for things: to heal the sick, to bring release to the oppressed, freedom to the imprisoned, to give wisdom to those in authority and meet our needs. We pray for a perfect world. And you could quite fairly ask, why hasn't it worked? The world is far from perfect. But imagine for a moment if it had worked in that way. If God gave us whatever we asked for, we wouldn't end up, I think, in a perfect world. So the lesson is that our prayers, which might well begin with telling God what we want, cannot end there. No, prayers of intercession are just a beginning, and they turn our longings from ourselves towards others. As well as speaking with God, it's a training in care and in compassion. Those prayers are themselves an invitation to find something more of ourselves when we reach out in love to others. St. John wrote that if we live in love, we live in God and He lives in us. It's a phrase from his first letter which makes up part of the New Testament. And it's one of those phrases that somehow sums up the whole Christian story. So when you pray today, and I invite you to do so, accept it as not just a hope of what God might do, but as an invitation to join in His compassion, to live in His love, and so to let Him live in you too.